I'm assuming you've clicked on this title because you want to know something a little bit about the Gripsport bike loading rack, or you just happen to be enrolled in every subject on the old YouTube University, or perhaps you were looking at something you shouldn't have been. Mum has walked in the room and you decided to click on this very quickly. Either way, if the last one's the case, you're going to be stuck with me for a while. Anyway, I ordered this about a bit over a week ago. It came very properly, cost about $300 with freight. Packaged up very well, very solid product, as the Gripsport stuff is. I found the instructions were nice and clear, really easy to follow even for a mug like me. But we'll have a look at all the bits and pieces as we go. Now, I'm not going to do an unboxing or anything like that because we've been unboxing stuff since our first Christmas, so it doesn't really make much sense. But in saying that, in the box comes obviously the ramp piece and a few other little bits and pieces. Now, all the screws and bolts, etc., are already installed in the pieces. They don't come in a little bag, so it makes it a little less confusing, but just in case you're wondering where they are, that's where they are. So, obviously, first up, we've got what they call the knuckle. This piece attaches to the end of your taco. Make sure, and the instructions are pretty clear, you don't put this in arse about, because otherwise those little screwy bits will be sticking into your bike tyres, which wouldn't be too pleasant. You get two of those, of course. Up the top here you get these two channels which allow you to roll your bike across from the taco to the hub wheel holder. Two of those. Now, underneath there, you get the little bars that go across. If you're wondering, when you're just frigging about with it, pardon the French, why they don't go through the first time, it's because those little screws are actually in. They've got to come out before you install it, then you put them back in. Simple, isn't it? Now, the other bit, of course, you get is this marvellous bit of gear. This is actually extended out to its full length at the moment. As you can see, it's a fairly substantial bit of kit. But we'll have a look at how we install that, and it might make a little bit more sense to you. So when you open the box, you'll have all these other little bits and pieces, the knuckle and the crossbars, etc., and the grade instructions. You'll also have the rack itself, which in its state like this is fine. Now to attach it, all you need is slide across into the knuckle. There's a little button under there which helps you secure the thing to stop it sliding about. So once that's locked in there, you'll be fine. Then, obviously, to increase the length of the rack, push that button in, slide it out, and because I've got a fairly high rack, obviously, I have to go all the way. But even so, it's fairly steep. As Talon, the good man from Gripsport, and they are fantastic to deal with. If you ever have an issue, I've never phoned them, but just email them. They're very prompt. They'll come back with full instructions. Any issues solved straight up. I've never dealt with a company that's been so really good at it. So appreciate that from Gripsport. They're very good. Now, in relation to loading your bike, it really depends a little bit on the size of the thing. I've got three. No, the wife owns one of them, I've only got two. This little jobby here, 7.2 Ks. My e-bike, 13.8. A bit heftier because it's got a rear wheel hub motor thing. Wifey's bike, extra small, 24.5. Unbelievable. Now, if I wanted to load the Colnago on there, I wouldn't bother with the ramp. Just throw it up, to be honest. But for demonstration purposes, I'm actually going to show you briefly, quickly, pretty well how the ramp works. Not exactly rocket salad, but you just shove that up there, get that wheel, guide that across to the next bit. Make sure your back wheel goes into the taco. Whoop. You can see with the light bike, you make little blues like that. Bob's your uncle. Then you obviously had put that bar up previously, which I didn't, being the dickhead I am. But pretty simple when you've got a nice light bike like that. Now, they do say in the instructions to get a friend to help you. Bloody good idea, because there's no way without wifey's help, and even with her help, I'll be able to get that bike up there. I used to lift it up, but I'm now pushing 70, I've got an old pensioner. I'm getting a little bit weaker, so it's probably a little bit more tricky than it used to be. So we're going to try the ramp, but I'll do that a little bit later. Okay, as promised, we're now going to try and get the wife's little bike, a little heavy bike, up on the ramp, and I've got my assistant, aka wife, to give us a hand. Now this does have a walk button, but I don't know if any assistants or not. It actually does that. Pretty cool, if you like that sort of thing. So I'm going to try and walk it up this side first. And I mentioned before I gave the little spiel about how good Gripsport was, that Talon shows in his little video on their website, you can actually bring that ramp back up onto a level surface, I guess, to help. I'm not too sure how I do that, but we're just going to use our little caravan steps and so that's sort of assistance. So we're going to give it a go, and if there's any swearing, we apologise in advance. You got him, just land against that thing, and you can up down again. So easy peasy. Now of course you have to do that in reverse. Okay, that was pretty good. Using a little drive button on the rear wheel, plus having those steps makes a bit of difference. So that's good, far easier than when we tried it the first time. So a little bit happy with that. Now we're just going to try and get it back down, hopefully in one piece. So. I meant me when I said one piece on the bike. Right. Now I'm going to have that beer. Wife, you might have one too.